welcome to Learn the Basics. Today we're going to be looking at the extrude function in Fusion 360. Now this is the hobby version of the Fusion 360. This is the free version, so you will be able to do all of these things in the free version of Fusion 360. I'm going to show you how to use the extrude tool, but before we use the extrude tool we've got to build a sketch. So this is our workspace. We're just going to hit the sketch, create sketch square up in this top left corner, okay, and that'll give us our three planes. I'm just going to draw it on the bottom plane to begin with, and just to demonstrate to begin with, we're just going to use a circle. So I'll just draw a little circle in the middle. You can use the little squares to set the size of your circle, or you could type in the size that you want and press enter. Okay, so now we've got our circle. We'll just click finish sketch and it will return to the home position. If it doesn't return to the home position, just in this top right corner there's a little home icon. You can just tap that and it will return to the home position. Okay, right, so extrude. First we have to make sure our circle's selected, which it is. Okay, it's nice and blue, and then we're going to click the extrude button in this top left corner. So we get a little arrow and we get this little extrude panel up on the top right hand corner that gives us a bunch of different options. The type, I very rarely use the thin extrude. The thin extrude will just do the walls. Look, you can see that there. But the normal extrude will do the whole thing, and we can grab this little blue arrow and lift it up, and you'll see the number changing. Again, if we wanted to, we could type in a number and it'll go to that number. Okay, let's just zoom out. There we go. So a few other options we've got. So first off, we can look at doing offset or object, which we don't need to worry about objects too much, but offset will start the extrusion an offset distance from the base. So I could put the offset at say 10, and you'll see how it's started it higher up than the plane that we drew on. Just give us a 10mm gap and started the extrude from there. Can come in handy if you ever need to do anything like that, where you have to offset it from what you're working on. Okay, just return to home, but put it back to profile plane. Now the direction, we've got a number of directions here. We can do one-sided, two-sided, or symmetrical. One-sided is what we've got at the minute, and we can just push it in either direction. You'll notice as I go lower, look, the number turns to a negative. So if I wanted to do it in the other direction, I just put a negative in and type my distance in again. We've got two-sided, which gives us a second arrow below, and it gives us a second little distance measurement here that we can type in. So we could type in like 15, and it'd go further down on the 15 than it would on the 10, so further down on the bottom than it does on the top. So that's our two-sided. Or we can go to symmetrical, in which case it will do the same distance top and bottom. Okay. Next we've got a distance. That's the same as this. This distance is this here, and we've got our taper angle. So our taper angle, if we wanted to, we could put an angle on it and it will give us a little taper. If we put a negative in here, it will taper it in the other direction, and as we increase the size, we'll get closer and closer to a cone. Let's home this back up. Remember, it's a cone because we've got a circle, but if we're doing other stuff, yeah, so we can actually get a bit of a cone. We can create a cone using this as well. Again, we've got it still on there. Let's set it back to one-sided. There we go. Yeah, we'll get a little cone there. Put it back to normal. We're going to set that back to 0, like that. And then the last one, operation, is new body. We've got join, cut, intersect, new body, and new component. Right now we're creating a new body because there's nothing else here. So I'll just do it to 40 like that. Click OK to finish the extrude, and that gives us a piece, a body here. it should be in our bodies in this top corner. Yeah, body 1, look. After we've done this, if we wanted to, I'll show you some other tools we can do with the extrude. So I'm going to draw another sketch on the top of this circle. So now my sketch is on the top face, it's not on the bottom plane, so it's on this top face. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to draw a square, single point square, so I'm just going from the middle and coming out. We'll go 30. If you hit tab while you've got this up, it'll switch to the other measurement. Okay, press enter, that finishes our sketch. We click finish sketch in the top right corner, and now we've got this square. Go back to home. So I'm going to select the square and turn it blue. And we go back to our extrude in the top left corner. Okay, so we can extrude a square out the top of it. So that's the same as it was before. We've got our taper angles, so we can do a little taper. Oh, that's 450. Do a little taper angle. Ugh, let's do a negative one. That looks better. It will do once it's. What's happened there? Why has that done that? Oh, it is there. It's just a bad picture. There you go. It's just because of the angle we're at. That's all. So let's take that off. Put that back to 0. Gives a nice square. Okay, so we've got our square. OCD. There we go. We've got our square. Oh no, what happened? That's it. And you'll notice in operation it says join. That's going to make this cube join the cylinder below it. Okay, and it will make it all one object. We can create a new object with it and a new component with it. So this will create a new body, and then we'll end up with another body, which means the two aren't connected. So the square, the cube, and the cylinder won't be connected, which means we can move them apart. Whereas if we join it, they'll join together. Now the other thing we can do is cut. So if we cut and then go down, it will cut a hole through the center of our circle in the shape that we've done. Whoop. Yeah. Give us a nice cut hole straight through the center. When we do this cut, we should be able to do, in the extent type, we could go through all, and that'll cut through the whole object. We can do 2 objects and then click the face underneath to select where we're cutting to, or we can stick with distance, especially if we don't want to go all the way through. So we only wanted to go like halfway through our cylinder. I can't remember how deep our cylinder was. I think it was 30. And that'll cut a square. Okay, so we can cut, we can extrude. Control Z. Let's start again. So we can cut by going in, we can extrude by coming out, and then we can set the bodies. We can set as a new body, a new component. We can join, or we can cut, or we can intersect. But we're only really worried about extrude and cut in this tutorial. Okay. So I'll show you what it looks like when we cut through the center. Let's cut all the way through. Through it all. There we go. Click OK. And that's cut a hole through the center. Another little tip, if you hold shift and press your middle mouse button, you can rotate it around. We can see there. Shift and middle mouse button. And you can use your mouse to rotate it. So now I've got a circle cylinder with a square hole through it. Okay. And that's pretty much it for the extrude function. You can extrude any shape as well. So if I just create a new sketch, let's do it on here, and we'll just move out a little bit and we'll come off to the side. So if I use my line tool, I can kind of create any shape I like and make it a bit weird. Yeah, so I've completed a polygon there. Click my finish sketch, and I can extrude this. I can extrude this just like I can anything else. Let's go to home so I can see it better. Shup, and we get this weird shape. And you can cut the weird shape, and you can do all the other things that we've just shown you. Okay, right, there we go. A nice little video on how to extrude and the various features within Extrude as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is only my second video, so if you'd like to subscribe and like it, it's a big help. I hope it helped you out a little bit if you're a little bit stuck. I've been using Fusion 360 now for quite a few years, so I'll be posting more videos about it and the various different tools and how to use it, but I'll try and keep them nice and short like I have done this one. Okay, so thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.